Hi all. You said صباح الخير. It's here. It's night. It's مساء الخير. Now it's night here. It's 9:30 or 9 now, and it's مساء الخير. So we in House of Hope are always in, as you know, are in a lot of development, individual and in the place, and with children and with street teachers. This year we had big developments in the trainings with the teachers, and also with opening the 5th grade, which was a big process. It wasn't easy to get to have the 5th grade, and so we have new kids also in the school. And we did lots of maintenance actually, and we have now a good place for the 5th grade. We added a lot of Waldorf, like environment. We brought Waldorf environment, and also the teachers know more, and they adopt in the little things in the class, like the circle work and the songs. And we do, like, for example, we added in the morning, we now have a different process when kids come. We do sun rays. Like the kids, we have we have the kindergarten as a ray, the 1st grade array until 5th grade. So, and the teachers do, we do work in the morning with the kids. We move physically, and we sing, and we welcome the day. And also in the kindergarten, we are much more stronger. The teachers are more trained. You know, we feel and we act, and we welcome the kids in a joyful way, in loving way. We work so hard, and we are more. For me as Manar, I'm building a team, a very strong team in the kindergarten, and I count on them, and the kids love them, and we're so happy with this success. And also we have improved in having a nursery. So it's ready, it's there, but we unfortunately we postponed opening it for now because of the corona stuff, as it's like it's hitting the kids, and we had to postpone a little bit. Maybe we postponed the semester. It's ready, it's there, like the stuff and wood and the tables and the stuff. But we decided, unfortunately, to postpone a little bit, but it will be there, and it's there. And what else? We had also new stuff, wood stuff, like the tables, shelves, toys, blackboards, all good stuff. And you feel like it's becoming more grounded. The theory, the vision we're having, the non-violent, the Waldorf method, the teachers are more in and wanting more trainings. There's a big jump in the work here, and I'm so happy and satisfied.
Great, thank you, Manar. That was awesome. And I'm just gonna kind of reiterate a little bit, and then before we move on to Milad and the nonviolent education program at school. So what Manar said was they opened a 5th grade. They're growing every year, so these kids don't have to go back to the public school. They're staying with them. So they opened the 5th grade this year with the permission of the Ministry of Education. A 2nd kindergarten room, fully Waldorf. This is the only Waldorf kindergarten in So Waldorf is trauma-informed education. It meets all the qualifications of trauma-informed holistic education. So they opened a second kindergarten, and as I mentioned, acknowledged by the Ministry of Education, and the only one in the West Bank. And they're opening, that's for ages 5. And they're opening a nursery, she mentioned, for ages 3 and 4, slightly delayed because of the Delta. Also, just other things to mention that she said was some capital improvements. Manar, you mentioned maintenance. This is fully funded by supporting Hope donors. So it's our work and your gifts that made this happen. So the art studio was our big fundraiser for last year. Complete success, $13,000 art studio at the school, and all grades use it. It's a huge success. So thank you for that. And then also we had an enormous amount of furniture in the kindergarten and nursery because it's growing so much. So this was a combination actually of your gifts, of supporting Hope gifts, and then labor that was donated by partners in the Galilee. So we have a partnership with a master Waldorf teacher, Manar's mentor, Stephanie Alon, who has been a huge advocate of the school. And they brought many Palestinians living in Israel and some Jewish Israelis as well, who performed carpentry work for free. And we provided the funds for all of the wood. So it's like a really beautiful natural wood environment. A lot of teacher training happened over the summer as well, but I want to get to that later. So that's enough out of Thea, giving you some American bullet points. And I'm gonna, Manar and Milad, would you mind unmuting yourself? I just muted you again. I just unmute, could you unmute yourself? Manar, yeah. Manar and I have the same hair today, just like to point that out.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Any questions so far? Yeah. Will Thomas.
Well, the question, I'm curious, Manar, how many teachers now are trained in Waldorf education? How many students are being, you know, are part of the Waldorf education? How many students? And what kind of materials are you needing or using? So how many teachers and how many students?
كم استاذ عندك امبارح؟ كم طالب؟ مش لا انت بتحكي عن الروضه بس كلها ناخذ بحكي 12.
So we did trainings for like 12 teachers. Sorry, women teachers. And so 3 of them are with kindergarten and the rest in the school. In the kindergarten, the stage of the work for Waldorf education is different than the school, as it's like a long process to have like a real Waldorf curriculum. It's different, but we're talking about tasting in the school and adapting, you know, the environment of the Waldorf and going through this process through having trainings. In the kindergarten, we're having like really Waldorf atmosphere with the work and with the kids, with the rhythm of the day, with the environment in the class. It's such like it's really different than the other kindergartens. Like if you go to other kindergartens in the West Bank, it's all like now class with chairs, with desk, you know, as if you are in first grade. But you know, in our kindergarten is different. We don't have, you know, like KG1, KG2, like classes. We have like kids together in the circle. They eat. They have like resting. Then they go outside. It's different. And maybe in the United States and Israel there is a lot. But I mean, in West Bank there is no like these. West Bank, like this kind of kindergarten with this different method. I did a big risk to open this. What I wanted to say again, like it's risky and not known in the society. Some like even the teachers, they were like, know if it works or not. You don't let them write a lot. You don't they don't do lots of paperwork. And some parents, like I had through this all like 2 years, just one kid or two, one kid. His mom left, let him go out because she wants him to just write all the time and work. So it's, and especially this year, the parents are coming more conscious about the kindergarten. This is important to say that we ask all the parents that came to our kindergarten, they say like the word of mouth, like we're becoming known, like they told us about you. You're a good kindergarten. You will help us. Like some kids we accept have problems a little. Like we have a girl that doesn't hear well, and we have like this disabled kid, also physically, and where all the schools they didn't take him. We said yes, of course. It's actually it's for him. This environment. It's therapeutic environment and loving environment and lots of feeling of safety for the kids. What about the materials? You asked about the materials. It's a Waldorf has its own material, and it's expensive materials.
Yeah.
And so we don't buy much. We don't buy here. Like we don't have actually for example, the watercolors we get from Israel. Through Stephanie, and the wood, the toys, the woods that we don't have. Even if we have like a shop in Ramallah that sell a wooden toy, it's so expensive. We don't have it here at all, like all plastic stuff. So it's easier to get through. Like Stephanie helped a lot with also in the beginning of the kindergarten with tables. Like for example, in somewhere in Israel, they closed a kindergarten, and she got me some stuff like this. Like she had also bringing stuff like and also like the beeswax colors, beeswax like the forming the pastelina and stuff like that. It's all we can't get here. We can't get here. We don't have like some stuff like really we don't have them, so we get them like this. And yeah, what else?
I think we all appreciate your efforts. It's remarkable. The only West Bank Waldorf school, right? To be commended, yes, and applauded. Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you.
So for that question. And, we'll talk more about the teacher training that's happening at the school. Manar said that all 12 teachers that work at the school have received formal Waldorf education training at this point. Over the summer, a 3-day intensive, another day intensive in nonviolent education. And then our partners in Israel come every month often and do on-the-job training as well. But I want to actually talk to our other guests, Nadia and Zain. Hello.
Hello.
Nadia, Zain.
Hi.
I will translate for them. They need translation.
Great. So I said, Mitch, I was going to ask you, Milad, about the nonviolent education, but I'm going to save that for later and ask.
Later.
Yes. And ask first Zain, who is a lead teacher in the kindergarten, who's been with Household 3 years, is a graduate from, is Abu Dis University, Al-Quds? Al-Quds University with a bachelor's of education, bachelor's in education. So Zain, what inspires you to continue to work at House of Hope year after year? Why are you staying?
بيخليك تضلك ملهمة تستمري سنة بعد سنة.
Hi.
يلي خلاني إني أروح أحكي عربي.
طبعا واضح انه it's me. It's obvious. Yeah. I'm kidding.
يلي خلاني إني أضل أحكي وأنا طلعت
مش مشكلة طلع هون.
يلي خلاني إني أضلني في هاوس أوف هوب الطريقة المختلفة في التدريس في الرسالة اللي
What inspires me at House of Hope, the vision and the mission of the organization, or the content of the message.
كمان الأشياء المختلفة اللي شفتها بالهاوس أوف هوب. كمان فيه أشياء أنا لقيتها في الهاوس أوف هوب.
Also, I find myself in the things that it is also different in the philosophy of the kindergarten or the pedagogy. They laugh of my translation. I try to be Americanish. I'm joking. Okay, yeah. Please, كملي.
كمان طريقة التعامل مع الأطفال إنها ما تتعامل بس من الناحية الأكاديمية.
Also, the way that the kindergarten here treats kids, it's not just academic way.
إنه نشتغل على الطفل من جميع النواحي الجسمية، العقلية، النفسية، المهارية.
We work on the child in all aspects, mental, from inside, from the heart, from the spirit, from the body.
كمان رسالة العنف اللي موجودة في هاوس أوف هوب.
Also, there is the philosophy of non-violence also attracted me at House of Hope.
وكمان يلي شجعني إني أضل نار.
And also Manar all the time encourages me to stay, and it inspired me.
حكت هي
تشجعني.
أنا بشجعك إنه أنا متفق معك إنه أنت بتشجعني.
أنا بشجعك تضلي.
رسالة.
Manar inspires me to continue. That's it.
شكرا my friend. Question. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for your years of service at House of Hope. This group is so grateful to you for your care for the children. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sia. Thank you all.
So my next question is for Nadia. Same question. And Nadia has been for 8 years. Just women are just such active. We all get to go to the school again to visit. You'll meet them, and they're just the most wonderful human beings. And so Nadia, who's been at the school for 8 years, same question. Why are you coming back?
شو بيخليكي دائما مستمرة متعلقة؟
Hi, how are you? I miss you so much, and hi for all. راح أحكي بالعربي.
She will speak in Arabic.
إنه أول ما جيت هون حتى قدمت بالمؤسسة هون كنت متطوعة.
The first time I came to House of Hope, I was a volunteer. And with the circumstances, I left the organization here.
لكن كنت حاسة مرتبطة بشيء مش مهضوم معهم رغم البعد المكاني، لكن في ارتباط أو تواصل.
But I felt a huge connection, even though I was so far from the organization and the school.
عدت لهون بصفة إنه مدرسة.
I came as a teacher.
كنت واجهت كثير صعوبات، جيت هنا إنه النافذة المفتوحة لإلي، نحن مستقبل كنت نتمناه من قبل.
I had a lot of difficulties in the past, but when I came here, I saw a different window for the future, for a brighter future.
كنت صدق أول ما ربطني هون حسيت إنه ناغيني هي الإنسان اللي ما بعرف كيف شدتني لهون.
honestly, Narine, she's our daughter. She said Nadia that Narine attracted Nadia in the school.
بعد هيك حسيت كأنه فعلا أخذت اسم هاوس اوف هوب اللي هي بتحمل الأمل، كانت هي نور رباني نزلت على قلبي وخلتني أمشي بطريق مش قادر إنه
قصدك أمين تحكي بتقصدي؟
إنه نور رباني
أمين
إنه يعني أخذت الأمل جواي.
So she said from the name of the organization, the school, also House of Hope. It gave Nadia's hope, and she felt that there is a light from God to continue this path. Also, the co-founders, I just thank Manar and Milad, the co-founders.
بالإضافة إنه حبيت الأطفال وحسيت إنه هنا في شيء بيربطني روحياً.
I felt in love and I felt the spiritual connection with kids.
بالإضافة إنه عجبتني سياسة العمل هي مبدأ تقريباً لقيم كثيرة عملها اندثرت ومش لاقيها في مجتمعنا.
Also, what makes me also in love. I'm looking for this. I want to work hard and to meet the needs of the kids.
بيتي هون بحس إنه رؤيا البيت الثاني ساعدوني على كثير أشياء أفكار ولادة عم تطلع إنه أنفذها وهذا الشيء أسعدني.
Ru'ya, which is in English, Ru'ya, this is also the name of the organization, Vision, House of Hope Vision. Also, the people here helped me a lot in my personal life and in my character to be shaped.
إني أعتقد كمان أهم شيء إنه التعليم منهجهم بالتعليم غير قائم على العلامات.
And last thing, the education shouldn't be waged by grades, shouldn't be marked by grade A, B, C, A plus B. She said that.
واهتمامهم للطفل من ناحية روحية ونفسية، وهذا الشيء بيدعم قوة شخصيته بغض النظر عن العلامات اللي احنا عم ندورها. Last thing she said that she cares about the person, the child, it's himself, or to be more developed and peaceful. And I pray and I hope that I will give more and more and more. Thank you.
شكرا. هنا حياتنا قصة زودكم يعني النظر. I said our life is a story. يبقى تقول.
Thank you. Shukran, Nadia. Thank you so much for all of your service and love for these children. When I teach you at the school, you just kind of emulate love, you radiate love at the school. Thank you for all that you do for these children. Great. Any questions from the group? I'll just keep going with the ones I have. Okay. Great. So one more question for Nadia and Zain, and then a couple of questions for you, Milad.
Yes.
I have a question for Nadia and Zain. As we all know, childhood in the Holy Land is hard, and childhood is very difficult. I think everyone in this room or in this group has been to the West Bank and seen that these children experience. This year at the school, we are launching a study where we are measuring stress symptoms from the start of the year to the end. So we hope to have data by the end of the year to show. I'd like to ask Zain and Nadia what they see in kids after they experience some of House of Hope. How do the children change? How does their
بتغيروا من العنف بالمجتمع من الاحتلال شو الشيء اللي بيلهمكم؟ كيف بدكم تشوفوا اطفال بيتغيروا عنا؟ شو الاشياء اللي بتشوفوا الاطفال بتتغير عنا؟ معناته يلاقوا عنف من الاحتلال، ممكن يلاقوا عنف من البيت.
هو صحيح ان العنف عندهم بالبيوت او العنف بشكل عام بلش يتشكل عندهم مفهوم لعنف.
شو بتشوف التغيير فيهم المؤسسة عندنا بالذات؟
حكيت هم الاطفال اصلا جايين من بيئه فلسطينيه برضه انه فيها عنف من دون ما يصير يعني عنف زياده.
So let's start. She then said in the Palestinian community also there is violence.
فهم لما نيجي على هاوس اوف هوب الاشياء اللي احنا نشتغلها معهم زي الموسيقى زي الالوان الاشياء المهريه خاصه بوجود الارت روم ساعدهم كثير بانهم يخففوا من العنف الموجود.
So she said that the violence also inside our communities because also of the occupation, also through the House of Hope, with the art room, with the kindergarten, with the father pedagogy, or the school, also the philosophy of non-violence, it helps them a lot. This is in general for her. If we're gonna come to the kindergarten atmosphere, we have the adaptation of love. The kindergarten is adaptation. It's like a room of love. Also, the freedom inside our kindergarten is totally different than the outside atmosphere.
المعلمات الموجودين وحبهم للاطفال وعطائهم لهم.
Also, she said that the teachers, I mean, they are the second parents to the children. The way that they treat and love, it makes the whole. We as the teachers, we feel also safe. So if we feel safe at House of Hope and we feel secure, I mean, as women, so how the kids will feel. Okay, I both they can speak.
بس انا بدي احكي انه الموسيقى هي كثير جانب يعني ممكن نركز عليه وبفيدهم كثير يعني ممكن يهدئ اعصابهم يكون شوي انه ريلاكس اكثر زي ما كان ينمي الجانب الروحي ينمي الجانب الروحي الجمالي.
Nadia said also about the music and how much also music, especially also in our summer camps, we use music. We use the drum, as they said, with Abdul Rahman, music with Mr. William, also Manar. She said then the last training with the trainings with the teacher training, we had the music as مع الشمال.
I will add a little bit more explanation of how I see change in the kids as a kindergarten teacher, also arts, music, movement teacher for the school. When we work with the kids, and when I love the song I'm bringing, and when I'm feeling it, and the kid is overwhelmed or coming from a big world, and you start telling him in a circle, good morning, dear earth,
Good morning, dear sun. Good morning, dear resting storm, and the beast on the run. Good morning, dear bees, and the birds in the trees. Good morning to you, and good morning to me. This is one of the songs we do in the morning in the kindergarten, and also in the lower, like first, second grade. It's different. We didn't have this in the school, and we didn't. So it's different. We welcome the kids really, really warmly in the kindergarten, and it helps in the circle and in the rhythm of the day to develop them. We had last year, for example, lots of kids that have what they say a hyperactivity. I don't call it hyperactivity. Like kids that move a lot, or we had also some issues with kids with not disabled, like not autistic, something like autistic, and also because they watch TV a lot, they come with problems and with movement activity problems, and we worked a lot in the kindergarten with this method of Waldorf, and we saw literally how they improved, and that's what will also happened in the kindergarten. And in the school for upper grades, we have also kids, I teach them also music and movement and circle work and stuff. And for example, I have kids in the class that can concentrate. You talk to him, he can't concentrate well, or he loses focus fast. We have like such kids like this. And when I start, for example, doing music with them, for example, for last 2 days, I'm doing like darbuka and some musical instruments. And some kids that they really were misbehaving in the class, at once they were tuned with me, and they were like so dissolved in the work, singing, following with the guitar, and engaging. Yes, there is a lot of change that we see in the kids. Music with love is so important. That's why we work a lot with the teachers that work with the kids to have safety and development in themselves, so as to feel it with the kids. This is more important than the activity itself, actually, that the teacher, and I'm happy that they are saying that they're feeling safe and loving, like being in a loving environment.
Thank you. Thank you. That was really helpful to understand. And, to understand how the work that you guys are doing are changing the lives of these kiddos. And, it's not just more music, more art. It's a really specific pedagogy that meets really, trauma-informed frameworks for education. It's the way that Waldorf brings rhythm and sensory integration into their days. So it's all super intentional, and all these women are being really well trained in it. And so without House of Hope, how would trauma-informed education come into the West Bank? Very difficult to do because there is no training center for it. And these, to enter Israel, to get trained in these pedagogies where one can get trained, is very, as we know, impossible for West Bank Palestinians. So the House of Hope is really serving as a teacher training hub in the West Bank as well. Rabbi Ariel, I see your hand is raised. Please share.
Yes, hi. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of trouble with my video, so I'll just keep it on audio if that's okay with you.
Yes.
I was wondering, we're trying so hard to support the children. How are we supporting the teachers?
Great question.
تحكي دائما بدعم الاطفال، كيف احنا ندعم الاساتذه؟
من ناحية عملية ومن ناحية تدريبات
So Rabbi Arya, your question is that how we gonna also support the teachers. This is your question.
Yes, I imagine it's very difficult to always be a source of support to the children without having some support to the teachers.
Yeah, that's maybe Manar can answer it. So
it's
كيف المعلومات للتصنباط؟
I don't know. يعني مش من ناحية عملية قصدك
كل النواحي.
Like I don't know what to say. Even like myself, it's been a long time. Also, we have like individually, each of us his own issues and hard times as people with mission and big heart and no much freedom, no much backup. It's hard. I don't know. It's never about money. Like if I can imagine how to be to have a better life or to have, we need more freedom, more happiness, more شو بيحكوها like psychological and human loving support that we're together and we're seeing and our work in the school and out of the school. Those people also help and are pillars for their families, their brothers, their neighborhood. I don't have a specific answer because I myself also sometimes it gets hard and we don't have just we need to we are used to hold ourselves as Palestinians in such a hard situation. Like I recently have a permission with Milad. We stopped having the corona, and I continued my studies in the Vosgueritchian. And sometimes I go to Jerusalem to go to Stephanie because she backs up me in all the ways, like spiritually, also philosophically, academically. Like I talk to her and I go to Kiryat to Tivaon. It's in the north, and I have this permission to get me to her, and I go to talk and discuss stuff and learn and to breathe a little bit, which lately it's not, because I feel so hard when I can't get Zain or Nadia with me. Like it's not real freedom. It's hard that we don't have freedom. Like for example, Zain several times applied to get permission and she was refused. And she went to the checkpoint one time and I was with her, and how much it was hard that the soldier told her to go back. And I can come in because I have permission, which is permanent permission. They can stop at any time. It's hard. So we went back, how to breathe, how to have hope in life. I don't know. We have to, like the phoenix, we're like always holding each other and resurrecting all the time. And it's, and knowing, like for myself, always remembering that I'm doing a mission in this life, in humanity, and I'm here for a reason. And I'm in Lazarus town, always resurrecting, that, and also Milad, Zain, Nadia, all these people that when I think that we're here together and we're helping each other for ourselves and for the kids and for the people of Palestine and all the world, because we bring this energy that have no borders like the border that we have here. That what, and how I said, like we see the kids changing and having this environment for them. Let us continue. We don't have another option.
I want to say something. Honestly, very, very, very brief. I don't know if you can see me, but what Robbie Ariel, it hits to the point. I mean, because I sit all the time and I give support, and I know like each of our teachers, their life, I mean, their situation, their personal stories. And I believe that the more, hopefully when Corona in the world will be done forever, we pray for that, that more connections, more people that comes to House of Hope and, give sessions of support, healing, from all groups. We need people to see us, to hear our stories, especially the women stories. And I all the time salute our teachers because they fight for women's right, even though they are strong enough in this organization to talk and speak and express and be free, and they are free. So we are happy that we have this community internationally and all over the world, and especially in the US. It's growing more and more and more, and we need also not just Europe, we need the US people, Jews, Christians, Muslims, the non-believers, wherever, to come and be with us and be in solidarity. And that's it. This is what we want. I want this work to grow more. We want a lot of communities to support our work, not because we are the only people, but because the light comes from this place. It will go from here to other villages, to other towns. Hopefully in the 10 years, we will reach Gaza, because Gaza, it's in our heart. We'll never forget the kids, the families, and we believe that this school or this organization is like a new Titanic. We all know about the stories of Titanic, but this Titanic, it's about salvation, it's about healing, it's about reconciliation, it's about all can live in this place. Jews, Christians, Muslims, Israelis, Palestinians in the future. Hopefully we will have no wars anymore. And we thank you.
Thank you, Milad. Thank you. I know we're coming to the end of our time together. I'm not seeing any other hands raised, so I'm going to slip in one more question. Milad, could you talk to us? Steve, you've got a question? You're muted. Steve, you're muted.
I'm sorry. Manar mentioned a person named Stephanie, who I'm guessing is an Israeli, and I was wondering how you developed this connection. How you developed this connection with her, and can you develop connections with other Israelis that could be helpful? Is that something that might help the teachers?
معلش بس مش لاني خربشت شو السؤال بالضبط؟
بسأل ستيفاني هل هي إسرائيلية؟
والسؤال الثاني
وهل أنت عندك علاقات مع إسرائيليين؟ كيف تعمل العلاقات؟
Okay, so I was asking Milad because I didn't understand the question. Your question is Stephanie Israeli, and if I have connection with Israelis? This is your question?
No. Yeah, well, how can you develop more connections with other Israelis? Would that be helpful to develop more connections with other Israelis?
If it's helpful to have more connection with Israelis?
Yes. Is it helpful?
Stephanie is Swiss. She's from Switzerland.
Oh,
She's married to an Israeli man, and she lives in the north in Tivon. And this is what I know. And about having more connections, as Thea said, I don't know if she mentioned it, this kind of, for example, the Waldorf education, I couldn't get in anywhere in the Arab world, or especially in the West Bank or Palestine, this kind of education. So luckily, I know Hebrew from a little bit, like from the TV when I was young. I'm good in languages. And I went and threw myself in the seminar 4 years in the Vidyanin through Stephanie. How I knew Stephanie also in the beginning, when I was in the United States, in Germany, I forgot when, which year before, 4 years, 5 years. I knew some people that like Waldorf teachers, and they get me some connections in Israel. And I was searching all the time, calling here, calling there, trying to go to where is Waldorf, I go, where is Waldorf in anywhere. So I got to Shafa Amr, they call it Shafa Amr, to a like Palestinian Arab Waldorf school and kindergarten. And they, one of the teachers, Lana Nasrallah, she said to me, Manar, I want to get you to a person, before I studied, to a person that is so important for you to know. So she got me to Stephanie. Stephanie, she's from the 60s here, opening and training lots of people in kindergartens and also in creative education, Waldorf. So I was so interested. She talked to me, and she saw that I'm really like interested and like a teacher in like naturally I have it, this mission and teacher feeling. And after some months, maybe half year, maybe I talked again to Stephanie. I told her I want to study. And I tried to connect where it's seminars, where are stuff, and I got in the end to the Vidyanin. I studied. Why I say that? Because it's in Hebrew, and I studied in English books, but I was really good in the Hebrew, so I could understand the classes and read in English books. It's not easy to get teachers from here to the Vidyanin or any seminar, because the Hebrew and because the English and a permission. So no Hebrew, for example, and no permission and no English. So that's why I try to bring as much as I can through Stephanie and the Arab teachers in Shafa Amr. Yes, the connection with Israelis is good because they have lots of education and development, and which we need, and which they would love lots of them to give. And for example, recently I got to know about a music, very special, very special first time course for 2 years in Israel, the first time to do a Waldorf music course for lower grades, and with really good teachers, the best teachers, and it's way in the north. And I'm trying to think if I can get to it once a week. It will bring me lots of more education to help with the lower grades in the school. And so we're thinking still, like it needs like money. I'm talking to Stephanie if we can have scholarship and stuff, and also because it's far a little bit, so I have to sleep in Jerusalem. So it's, you know, I'm putting lots of effort to learn, because I feel that I have this opportunity, and because I'm the one that can have the permission and have the Hebrew and have the philosophy now, that I can study and bring, and I bring everything here. Everything I learn, I do, I feel, I bring it at once to the teachers and to the classes that I give in the school also, and in the trainings. So yeah, it's good to have bridges and connections.
Yeah, so that, it sounds like Stephanie's a very important connection for you, and I was wondering if maybe you could develop more of those.
Yeah,
or with help from people.
I'm going to just jump in. There are, Manar, sorry, jump in. Manar, jump back in if you want to cut, feel free to cut me off. There are some longtime Waldorf teachers that are Palestinians living in Israel. There were, the Waldorf community in Jewish society in Israel is very big, very successful, enormous, the most successful private school movement in Israel. In Arab society, there's like 3 schools that have been established and held on for 20 years. It's not growing in Israel, and that's for reasons of systemic racism that I'm happy to have a separate conversation about, because I've been researching it for the past year for our research report that's coming out in about 2 months that I'm happy to share with everyone. But there are like pioneer Waldorf teachers. Manar mentioned their name, Lana Nasrallah, Aida Awad, various ones that are coming to the school to do trainings. They were the ones that came to the school this summer and conducted a 3-day training that was funded by a grant we received from the Davis Peace Project. So that synergy and interconnectivity is happening, and that mentorship is happening. They're coming to the West Bank. Our teachers can't go there. Only Manar can go there. She's the only one with a permit. Now, the question of Israeli Jewish people, can they come to the school and do the training? This is, difficult. And there's, the concern of anti-normalization backlash. That is something that's a lot more tricky, but where we can build bridges more easily is amongst the Palestinians in Israel and folks like Stephanie Alon, who is perceived as an international when she goes to the West Bank. Does that answer your question?
Yes, yeah, thank you.
Ellen Rifkin.
Yeah, I was interested in knowing about relationships with the parents. Just anything that people want to share about that.
Yeah. And I muted you, Manar, sorry. I muted you. Unmute yourself. Sorry.
Are you asking about the parents, the relationship with parents?
Yes. How much are they involved? How much do they realize about the school's philosophy?
You. Something new. It's something. We started what? Are you? ايش يا بشرح ليش؟
انا سامع
ايش الطفة طيب؟
بعد ساعة. We can hear you now. I turned off your video so that your audio would be better.
Tell me this next time.
Sorry.
I was like pushing the button of the video. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but if I need to talk fast also because
You're late.
the nice ladies here, they want to
We
go
have
home. They
Zain
have
and
to go home.
Nadia. It's too late for them.
Too late for them. So
Yeah, we can do it another time.
yes, but we have the parents, as I said, the parents this year are coming in more conscious of what the philosophy of the school and the kindergarten and the word of mouth is getting bigger, and we're successful, and lots of people, they came knowing and knocking our doors for our work. And we, for example, yes, they know about the philosophy and they connect and they want it and they support it. And Shuta, what did you ask also? I forgot this question.
No, you answered it, Manar.
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. احكي لها لا بطرش.
That great question. And we hope in the year ahead to be getting more stories of the parents out. Maybe on one of our next calls, we can hear from some parents. So we'll try and make that happen. I know that we all have many more questions that we want to ask. I have like 10, but it's top of the hour and it's 10 o'clock in Palestine. So I'm going to try and start your video so we can see you before we say goodbye. There they are. And I'm going to unmute you. Sorry. If you guys want to unmute yourself, we can all unmute ourselves. Everyone unmute. Thank you. Shukran.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Shukran.
Thank you, Thea. Nice to see you, Manar and Milad.
We love you. We love you all. We miss you. Steve,
Yeah.
Ahmed,
Me
Robert,
love you
Ellen,
too.
all people. We wait you to come to Palestine.
Yeah, y'all are doing amazing
Your
work.
work continues to be inspiring
Yep.
to me
I'm
and
really
many
happy to
others.
see you all.
It's an island of love.
Bye-bye.
It's an island of love in the middle of the chaos.
تحكي قديش إنه حب بالفوضى. Zayn and Nadia, they are happy and glad that they saw you and they sent their greetings and love. طبعاً صوتي.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
See you all.
Bye,
soon.
everyone. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.